Hey Lauren, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
You look so well. I'm good, thank you. You look so well.
Thank you. So do you. It's a beautiful morning here in Australia.
How I say it's a beautiful evening in Washington, D.C. So, so cool. Thank you so much for your time. So,
You're welcome. My pleasure.
thank you, Lauren. And today we would like to kind of have a conversation with you for my YouTube channel on gifting and receiving with business. So, in this reality, we see that people struggle with business. It's stressful for most of the people in business. So, tell us your awareness about having joy in business and, gifting, being the gift to the business and receiving from the business, Lauren.
Oh boy. I am a bit weird. I really enjoy business. I don't see it as stressful at all. And I've always had my own business pretty much. Even if I had a full-time job working for someone else, I was always doing something on the side. And, I just find it very creative and it brings me a ton of joy. Simone Milasas, who's the founder and creator of Joy Business, she actually lives close by to me, and we are always comparing. Like we don't get it. Why do people not enjoy? Like, why does not everyone love business? We have this same like odd gene that just like it lights me up. I wake up very early here in Australia. I'm on meetings at least by 6 a.m. I'm not saying I enjoy every aspect of my business, but business for me is it's creative. It's like, it's a vehicle to get all of my like exciting ideas out to the world. And the gift that energy is to your business, it's like, imagine your business is your friend and you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited to see you. Like, what are we going to do? We're going to play today. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to talk to? Like, and having that enthusiasm and that creative spark with your business, it's just like it's a person. It wants to play with you because you're playing with it. And same thing, imagine you wake up and you're like, ugh, you again? Oh my God. No. I don't even want to look at you. I have to deal with you all day. Oh my God, I can't wait to leave you. It's like some people have that energy with their business. And of course, the business is going like, I'm sorry, I'll go away, Same similar thing with money. So it's a relationship that you're creating with your business. And if you're not enjoying what you're doing, there's so many tips that I can talk about and give you. But I would start to add something joyful into your business, even if what you're doing, let's say you go to an office and you have a full-time job, but I guarantee you for 8 hours a day, whatever minutes, 60 times, 8, whatever that is, all of those minutes, I guarantee you're not working on that job. You must have, probably most of you get what you need to be done in that day done in like the first couple hours. Am I right? Yes. And then you drag it out because you're supposed to work all day long. But if you actually go, right, let me get what I have to get done for this job as fast as possible, and then I have all this space to create, you can start adding revenue streams, you can start adding other work that actually lights you up, or you can work out a deal with your boss maybe where you leave early and you get to go, create somewhere else. But it's like, start adding joy into your daily life because you're spending most of your day probably working, unless you're just sitting on a pile of money, in which case we can have a different conversation.
True, true. So it's all about finding what is fun for you and blending it with your life and business, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So almost to all my clients, I normally ask them to come up with what is called fun list. What is fun for them, and many times people struggle with it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we are kind of focused on purpose-built, outcome-based actions rather than having fun with in doing whatever it is, whether it is business, whether it is job, or simply living your family life. Finding fun seems to be really difficult. But you guys, with the joy of business, I see all the time, I've been listening to podcasts as well, and big fan of Simone Miller says, it's all fun all the time. So do tell us, do tell us how
Yeah.
build that energy up as well, please.
So a couple things. It's not actually that it has to be fun all the time. And maybe we get excited and it seems like, oh my gosh, every moment of every day. And I'm just like writing emails and I love it. And I'm doing my taxes and I love it. And it's like, no, I don't love all that stuff. There's definitely things that I do that are not fun. But whenever I get the ratio of joy, things that I'm doing that are fun gets like this compared to like all the to-do lists and all the tasks, I know that something's out of whack and I've got to create a change. And what I personally do is I make a list, like similar probably to your list of fun things, but I make a list of everything that I'm currently doing from like, I would do this for free all day long because it's so joyful, all the way to like, I'd rather stick needles in my eyes. This is like the worst thing I've ever done. So there's a range.
Mm-hmm.
And then the things that are at the bottom, I look at who else I can get to do those things.
That's
the there's always going to be things that either you don't enjoy or you're not good at. And either of those cases, you want to bring someone else on to do those things. And they're different because somebody else will be really good at and or enjoy doing those things that you'd rather stick needles in your eyeballs than do.
That is so true. So when you talked about business, you talked about the creative energy that is associated with business. So there are many aspiring budding entrepreneurs who keep asking me for tips or asking me to mentor. Which is not how would I say, it's not natural for me because I don't operate from mind. I can't give the tips to them from this reality's point of view. So do you think people who come into business should be creative?
Well, we actually talk about there's 3 types of people in business, or I should say 3 main energies, and they may not be different people. You could be all 3, or you could be 1 or 2. So that's creator, connector, and mover. And so not everyone is a creator, and none of them are better than the others. But what we tend to do is, so let me explain the 3. So creators are the people that they wake up in the morning with ideas, they shower, they have an idea, they're walking the dog, they have an idea, they're like, starting another book, another article, another poem, business, an invention. Like it's just pop, pop, pop. They're like, they walk around and they have those little bubbles over their head. And this is just how they be in the world. Those are creators. Doesn't mean any of them actually make it out to the world. They're just creating. Connectors are people that talk to everyone all the time, or nowadays maybe on social media all the time. It doesn't have to be like verbal, or they're the people that go, oh, you grew up here and you do this. I wonder, do you know this person? Or oh, you know what, that business you're starting, you really need to meet so and so because they're connecting. They're making connections. So they're putting people together. People, places, things, businesses, they're connecting. It's, and there's lots of ways it shows up. Connectors typically, they go on the airplane and they come off with a business card, because they've talked to the person next to them. They have a new best friend. My mom is like this. She's like, oh, I went on a train ride and I know this person now and this person, we're meeting up for Christmas. And I'm like, wow. I get on the plane and I put my headphones on and I don't talk to anyone. But anyway, so those are connectors, and they will share you and your business if they like it, if they like you, for free. it doesn't usually help if you pay them. Sometimes it makes them go away because the whole point was they were excited to share you with their other friends. So they just naturally connect. And then movers are the ones that are aware of the future and moving things into the future for your business. So where we have the creators coming up with the ideas, they may not ever go into the world unless you have a mover who goes, right, but like what next? So you have an idea, but are you going to write it down? They're the ones that see the future of your business and take the steps and help you implement the steps to it actualizing. Okay. So all three of these are energies you must have in your business. Mm-hmm. And the one that, so if as I describe this, the one that you go, oh my God, that one's the best, mm-hmm. that's probably the one that you're not.
Okay, interesting. Right.
And the ones that you went like, yeah, everyone does that, that's fine. Uh-huh. That's the one you are.
So true. Like, I run a business, IT business. So the planning aspect, to me, certain things look so simple, so, so obvious, but it doesn't seem like for many people. And that is where I used to struggle. Why is it? Is it not obvious? And 99% of people say, no, it's not obvious. So no. You're right. So what seems like everybody does it, maybe your natural ability. True. Okay. So exactly. That question, the initial question I meant to ask was, what is so important for the aspiring entrepreneurs? So would you say knowing whether they are creators, connectors, or movers, the awareness of who they are or what they enjoy is important for them to build the business on?
Yeah, getting an awareness of which of those you naturally are. I'm a creator, mover, mm-hmm. but that doesn't mean I can't connect. I can connect. Mm-hmm. I just prefer not to. Mm-hmm. If I had to rank them, I would be like creator, mover, connector. Mm-hmm. For me, that's the most fun. That's what's easiest for me. But absolutely all day long, I'm doing all three. Okay. Knowing this about myself, because I don't really enjoy connecting as much as the other two, mm-hmm. I know that whenever, like, let's say I put on a class, a Zoom or whatever, I will create the idea, boom, done. All day long, I can come up with an idea for a Zoom. That's my creator ability. Mover, I'm pretty good at moving. Actually, I would say I'm better at creating, and then second, good at moving. Okay. So I can definitely take an action that will put it out into the world. I can perceive a future that it will create. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, if I do this class, what's that going to create? Or if I do this class, ooh, that's not, that one might have been fun for me, but no one is going to get that or whatever. So I can perceive, so that's creator mover. Mm-hmm. And then I hire people to promote and to connect, because that's the part where I go, meh, I don't really have the energy for that. So for me, if you're just starting out, ask some questions about what you do from day to day, what you would do if no one was watching, what would you do if you weren't getting paid, like what do you naturally like to do? Like I said, my mom is a natural connector. Nobody pays her to go talk to people. She would rather take a long bus ride so she could meet people than a private chauffeur car, which is like bizarre to me, but that's who she is.
That's interesting. Okay.
So knowing who you are and adding those elements, and it doesn't have to be different people, but being aware, okay, I am not the one that comes up with the big ideas. Okay, so who does? Do I have any friends? Does my husband, wife, whatever, sister, brother, who do I know and connected to that has ideas all the time that I can borrow, steal, whatever? Mm-hmm. So, or hire them, Okay. So bringing those people or those energies into your business so that it's not missing that piece.
Okay, cool. So considering that business involves a lot of people, whether within the business or outside the business, whether it's B2B, B2C, or even C2C, like social media, do you think being a connector or this connecting energy is absolutely vital to the business?
Being the connector?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Having the connector energy in the business.
Oh,
It
yeah,
is
yeah.
more
I mean,
important. Yeah.
it's all, none of them are more important than the others.
Okay.
But if you don't ever connect to anyone with your business, no one's going to know you exist.
Okay.
So it can be the greatest idea on the planet. You could have implemented a flawless, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so what? No one's going to know.
Okay. So
You
it
don't
is,
exist in a
yeah.
vacuum.
So yeah, I do work with startups, from my through my company. So one thing we have always found is that building the product it is good. It's easy for us because we know it is predictable, but it is important to take it to the customers, and that is the bit I personally struggle, and also I've seen my customers struggle as well. So, is it because of some sort of beliefs and points of view we have about taking it to people, or is it something like can you share your awareness on this?
About the points of view and beliefs you have about taking your product or your business.
Products out. Yeah, it's not just me. What I've seen is repeatedly with people, they create, but taking it out to people, that is the part they struggle.
So I would look at, are you trying to sell what you have? Because selling is a push.
Okay.
Nobody likes being sold to. Few people like selling. Some people are weird and they like selling, but most people do not like being sold to. I mean, have you ever enjoyed a salesperson in your life?
No.
And if you have, it's because they actually weren't selling. They were inviting, they were engaging, they didn't have a point of view. If you bought or didn't buy, they were inviting you to something. So what you want to do, A, is make sure what you're offering is what your clients are asking for, because it's all well and good to have a great product that you enjoy, but does anybody else want this? So and that involves connecting. Like you need to actually do some research, talk to some people, like, are people wanting this thing? Or, because so then if you have created a product that people are asking for, then it's not a sell, it's basically it's connecting, engaging, and inviting, but not pushing. So you're allowing people to know that it exists, and that's it.
That is the block I see. It is talking about the product. That is where people kind of go into the shell, and setting aside a huge marketing budget doesn't work well for the startups.
Yeah.
And they themselves, the creators. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So I wouldn't start by talking about the product.
Okay.
I would start by talking about the need that your client has.
Okay.
And this gets a little, it depends what we're talking about, right? If we're talking about an access bars class, we're not going to make any promises to heal anything or anything like that. That's definitely not even legal or ethical, because we don't know what it's going to create. So it depends what your product is. If I'm selling them, I don't know, a fancy pen, I'm going to be like, this pen is awesome, it writes, I'm going to make a promise about the pen. If it's a bars class, I'm not going to make a promise what the bars class is going to do. But you want to talk about, if it's something like a bars class, you can really say like, do you ever have that monkey mind that just won't stop chattering? I used to have that all the time, and then I got my bars run. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know this existed, and then it stopped, and I had quiet, and it was amazing. So now I teach these classes on bars. And then, I used to do this when I used to live in Denver, and I was single, so I would be hanging out at the bar, and I would talk to people, and so always ask questions about the person you're talking to. Don't ever tell them about you. You don't tell them about you or your business or your product or your services or anything about you unless they ask. So you ask them questions. Who are you? What are you doing? Oh, wow, that's so interesting. Tell me more. And I would get people going, yeah, I'm so stressed out. I can't sleep. I'm working too hard. I'm this and that. And I'd be like, oh, wow, tell me more, and I keep going, ask questions until they would say, well, what do you do? And I'd be like, oh, I just do these sessions for people that helps them with stress relief and sleep and, but tell me more about you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, in what they're, because the bars can do pretty much anything for people, like it's amazing treatment. So I would listen to what they were struggling with, and then I would say, this is what I do, and it's helped people with a lot of their anxiety or their sleep issues or whatever. And so I would only tell them about the part that they care about my product, because that's what they can hear. That's what they're asking for. And then they would say, wait, what? What do you do? I need that. And I'd be like, oh, well, yeah, here's my card.
Okay, cool. So it's mostly like what I find with these corporate customers, these startup customers, is that most of them think that they are not good enough to connect, to talk to people. And there is a disconnect between creation and putting it to putting it to use. Creation seems to be easier for inventors like the startups, and then after that the next step seems to be difficult. And my point of view there is that there is a point of view they have, that they are not good enough in taking this forward. They need help from outside. Maybe that is an awareness, maybe that is simply a point of view they can clear. The problem here is that then startups may not have that budget to hire that person. So for such people, is there any clearing we can give to probably release the points of view about them not being good enough to take that next step?
Sure. So everywhere that everything that's easy and fun for you, you believe has no value, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes, that's a good one. Yeah.
Right. And recognize that because it's easy and fun for you, it is probably your greatest value, and that's what you should be doing more of. And that's where you have the gift to the world that you could share. Now, not everyone is a good self-promoter. Some people are really good at promoting others, but they're terrible at talking about themselves. That's not something you need to overcome. Just recognize, I'm not that great at talking about myself. So what? Who loves what you do that you could either hire, but be careful, because some people, if you pay them for what they would do with for free, will go away. So you want to ask questions. Now, you absolutely don't have to have money to hire connectors. A lot of them will work for you in exchange for getting what you have to offer for free. So, that's an option. And we do that a lot with Access. I work for the company Access Consciousness on a lot of their events. And we are always inviting people to promote and share the events in exchange for getting it for free. So
that is very, very useful. It's not always about budget, and people don't have to go into that shell and create a limitation. That's true. Yes, finding the people who like to talk about you and your product. That's great. Excellent. Thank you so much.
You can also offer them a commission-based pay, so that you're making more money when you're only paying them and they're making money when you're making money. So it's actually not an upfront cost. Now, I mean, these are all options, and it depends on the person you're hiring. Some of them will do it for free because they love you. Some of it will do it because they want your class. Some of them will do really well if you pay them. Some will do really well if you pay them the same amount every week or month. Some of them will hate that and want to be paid by the hour. So it's all different. You got to look at what you're wanting to, what works for you in your business where you are today, and what that person requires. And it's going to be different for everybody.
Okay, cool. Great, thank you. So I'm going to go into the questions that came by. Now, some of them we might have covered, but we can skip them as we go along. So the first question was how to get new clients. This question almost, in my calls, at least 70% of them ask the same questions, and we do different sorts of, we go into different sorts of awareness and insights and clearings. So it would be good to hear something from you too.
So are these bars
Access,
facilitated?
yeah, access business. Yes.
Access business. Okay. So what are you doing every day to bring in people, to allow the world to know that you are out there? And I didn't say to allow the world to know that you have bars classes, or you have, I don't know, Zoom, or you have a telecall, or you have whatever. What are you doing every day to just be out there, be you, and be out there? And it can be lots of different things, but I would recommend you start doing something every day that's fun for you. Some people like making videos, some people like writing blog articles, some people like taking pictures, some people like going on social, writing emails, making phone calls, going to the coffee shop. It doesn't matter. But do it every day. Try it for 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be different things every day, but try one thing a day.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not selling anything in these things. Like if you're going to be writing an article, you're not like, here's the, why the bars are the best thing, and here's my bars class on Saturday, at 9 a.m. at this place. Like these are not about selling. These are about being you and expressing that and engaging with other people, so that they know you exist, first of all. And so Gary Douglas, who created Access Consciousness, his recommendation for starting a access business, which I wouldn't listen to the guy because he hasn't created anything, right? We're only in over 170 countries and like thousands and thousands of practitioners
and exponentially growing. Yeah.
Yes. So the way he started his access business, and the way he recommends that everyone start, is by calling everybody that you know and not telling them about what you're doing, but asking them questions, just like I said at the bar, asking them questions. Now, you don't have to have any skill in promotion to call someone and ask them about them. This is just simple conversation, okay? So you call up your friend and hey, how's it going? I haven't talked to you for a while. What's new with you? That's it. Ask them questions, until if they ask you a question about what you're doing, then you tell them what you're doing, but not unless they ask. And I mean, he has done this for years. Like one lady, he said for 25, 30 years, he called and asked her about herself and never told her about what he did until one day, like 30 plus years later, she finally went, I think I want to check out this access stuff that you do. I mean, the man has tenacity. So usually it doesn't take that long, but calling people and asking them. Now, I would extrapolate that to our day and age where most people are on social media. This could be a Facebook message, a WhatsApp message, whatever. But the point is, you are asking someone about them, and then you don't tell them about what you're doing, but you can say, do you know anybody who might be interested? I've started doing this, blah, blah, weird stuff that has totally changed my life, if they ask. But you don't ask them if they want to come, you ask them if they know anybody.
Okay.
So
you're not selling. Yeah, you're not selling to them. Okay, cool. Excellent. Thank you. And the second question is, how do I take my business globally?
So this is a muscle that you can build. A lot of people don't have an awareness of very far outside their geographical region. And they're like, for instance, if you are in the US, you're the only country on the planet, right? This is how Americans think. I'm American, I get to say that.
Yes, you can.
And I know you are not that way because you've lived all over the world, and but you live in my hometown, DC.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I grew up just outside DC in Maryland. And my family is still there. So
I'm in Maryland, Gatesburg.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I grew up in Hyattsville, and I was there until I graduated I got my master's degree in acupuncture.
Okay.
and then I moved to Colorado, and then California, and then London, and then Australia. But you get travel. You get a totally different picture of the world. But for your business, I mean, this is a muscle. So when you wake up in the morning, tune into other parts of the world.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
What time is it, other parts of the world? Like, I have a really good global awareness because I work for Access, which is very global. I know when I wake up, Europe is about to go to sleep and America is in their midday. Mm-hmm. And there's a window when most of the world, not India, unfortunately, you can't get the whole world, but most of America is awake between my 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. That's it. Otherwise, you're losing different parts of the world, around the clock. So I'm really aware of that time. We always have meetings at that time. That's why I'm up so early. Mm-hmm. So this is one example of having a global awareness. So if you're always posting on social at the same time every day, you're going to miss all these people that are sleeping. They're not going to see your posts. So one simple thing to do is start training yourself on what time it is in other parts of the world. And start posting at different times in your day, or scheduling posts to go out while you're sleeping, or emails to go out while you're sleeping, to catch those people that are awake in other parts of the world. It's really interesting, but when before I moved to Australia, I didn't have very many contacts in Australia. Like, I would meet a couple people in different classes, but I didn't really, and I was like, gosh, I really get that I need to expand my business to that part of the world. I'm missing the whole bottom half of the globe, And I obviously now I moved here, so now I have way more contacts. And you don't have to actually go there in person, but just having that awareness and going, okay, well, when are they awake? And then connecting with them. Maybe you start posting in some of those, groups that are in other parts of the world. This is for Access. We have groups, in Access Consciousness Australia, Access India, Access blah, blah, whatever. But it's a muscle that you build so that your awareness can go, okay, right. You wake up in the morning, what does my business require? Where in the world is my business required? And you're like, well, that's weird. Israel. Okay, what's required here? Just being aware and asking the questions, that's the first step to going global.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. And the third question is, my money is stuck in my business. How do I get it back? I don't have more details here. This is the question.
The money is stuck in your business?
Is it about receiving from the business, you think, Lauren?
So first of all, I would destroy and uncreate everywhere you've decided it's stuck. So let's destroy and uncreate everywhere you've decided money is stuck in your business or outside your business. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all night, shorts, boys and beyonds. Not sure what exactly that means. Like, if you've tied up a lot of your money in your business and now you don't have any. But you can always create more, right? So people do this where they let me back up. Your money has not stuck itself. You have stuck your money. So you are the one that can unstick your money. Okay. So yeah. Let's not give the power away to anyone else. People will do this where they go, I loaned this amount of money to so-and-so and now they have disappeared and my money's gone, and they get obsessed about getting it back. Get over it, move on. What if that money never came back? What are you going to create? Are you going to really, how much money, time, and energy is spent in trying to get something back rather than just moving on and creating more? You can always create more.
Yeah, not making that bigger than your potency of creation, isn't it? That's so true. Okay, great. Thank you. And, that brings up to my next question. So what would receiving from the business mean? So, sometimes people are stuck in giving it to the business rather than ignoring the receiving part. So how can we improve on that?
Get your bars run.
That's
the number one way to increase your receiving is to get your bars run. You're never going to work receiving out in your head.
Uh-huh.
It's also a muscle, like the global awareness. Receiving isn't something that we're taught. We're untaught receiving, actually. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to practice receiving from everything, including your business, and get that your business is an entity that wishes to contribute to you. You're contributing to your business, so be willing to receive. And just like when you give a gift to someone and they're so grateful, that energy of receiving is such a gift to your business. So understand that you in receiving from your business, and receiving isn't just about money.
Mm-hmm.
it's receiving awareness. Like, what is your business trying to tell you that you haven't been willing to receive or hear? Like, sometimes it's like, I want someone else to own me, like sell me, or I need help, or you're not paying attention to me, or why do you hate me, or whatever. It's trying to communicate with you. So that's also part of receiving.
That's a great point. And one more question from me is, do you think we kind of make money significant, or associating money from the business so significant, or making money as business?
Yeah. Well, definite. No, not a little bit. I would say most people make money hugely significant,
Yeah.
and which doesn't make it easier. So in business, it is about money, but it's not about money. And if you're creating, especially an access business, to make money, it's not going to work. I hate to break it to you. I'm not saying you can't make money with your access business. You absolutely can. You can make a shit ton of money, but it cannot be about the money, or you're not really getting the point of what you're doing. It's going to work probably for a short period of time, but it won't work in the long term. You want to instead, it's like, take money aside, look at what you're actually creating and why you got into it. Chances are, for most people, some people get in it for the money, but for most people, there was some change that you saw in others or in yourself that was created from the bars, from the tools, from using what Access is designed to do. Focus on that and what you're creating in the world and what you're changing in your own life, and ask for the money to show up. Ask for money, ask for money, ask for money, but don't make it about the money.
About the money. Yes, that's the point. Yeah, business is not about the money. Yes. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. And the next question is, I am in a kind of love-hate relationship with my business. Can you give me any clearing?
In a what relationship?
Love-hate relationship.
Oh, love-hate. Yeah. So I'm just laughing. So love-hate was actually a program that was created so that anything that you love eventually turns to hate.
Okay.
So it's a polarized reality. So all the love-hate programs that are running with you in your business and anything else, any relationships that you have, even with yourself, will you destroy and I create it all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond. And instead, what can you be grateful for in your business? Are you grateful for maybe it provides you with some money? Maybe it provides you with some joy. What in your business can you be grateful for right now? And that will take you out of a polarized love-hate into a space of being grateful, which doesn't have another side to it. You don't have a flip side of gratitude, because gratitude is not a polarized energy. It's a space of being, so that will help take you out of it. And then the parts that you hate in your business, again, from the beginning, make your list, and who else can do that stuff that you hate doing.
Okay. This is amazing. This is amazing. Hope everyone finds it really useful. And the next question is, can you talk about creating beyond this reality with respect to business, of course?
So where are you creating beyond this reality already and not acknowledging it? So is that with your business? Is that with your kids? Is that with your dog? Is that when you walk on the beach? Like, where are you already creating beyond this reality and you haven't acknowledged it? So your business can be a way that a vehicle that you use to create beyond this reality. And it's not really about your business, if that makes sense. It can just be part of it. So if you are creating beyond this reality,
Mm-hmm.
your business will show up and change and be different based on the energy and space that you're being.
Okay. So, what is important here to create beyond this reality? Is it just the willingness? Is it being the question? So,
Question, choice, possibility, contribution.
okay, great. Thank you. Okay. So, do you have any daily routine or practice to have this joy in business, Lauren, that you can share with?
So to be honest, I just really love business naturally, but I know that's not normal for people. So a daily practice to grow joy of business, is that what? Um, I would start with gratitude.
Okay, gratitude to business. Okay.
So
So,
ask, what can I be grateful for with my business today? Ask that every single day and see how your business changes.
okay, cool. So do you think talking to the business can also contribute on
Yeah,
daily basis?
yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Okay. So is there anything else you can tell us about Joy of Business class or upcoming classes or your teleclass or anything that you like to share that
Sure. There's always access joy business classes happening all over with lots of different facilitators. I'm doing a 30 days of energy pools, which
okay.
I've never done before. I'm doing it because I forget to pull energy every day, and I'm really aware that when I do that, it creates change in everything in my life, and it helps me become aware of what I'm asking for and tap into the whole universe and pulling all of that in, and really helps me be aware when I'm not asking for anything, or I'm asking for something too small, or when I'm incongruent with what I'm asking for. So I'm doing that for me, but you're welcome to join me starting October 1st for 30 days. And I'm also doing a How to Become Money workbook, 8-week call, that if you join that, you get the 30 days of energy pulls as part of that. And that's starting in 3 days.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm not sure when this is airing, but it'll be open for a little bit. It starts on September 15th, and I'll probably keep it open for 1 or 2 calls. So if you're watching this and it's not too far past October 1st, you can still join, and all of that is at meetlaurenmarie.com/gold.
Excellent.
So yeah,
Okay, this will air before October 1st, definitely. So that is
awesome.
cool. Okay, so from that, I just picked up on one thing, and if it is not too much, would you be able to talk a little bit about energy pulse? Because this is another question I keep getting, how to do energy pulse. So this how, I think many people get stuck in their head of doing how. How rather than simply doing. I know
Yeah,
many times Gary keeps saying, just get on and do it.
yeah.
So, do you have
That's
any
basically
that?
that's basically it. But I also would say be aware of, like, when we were talking about selling,
Mhm,
like that's the opposite of a pull. That's a push. So
mhm.
just being aware of when you walk into Starbucks, where does your attention go? That if your attention is drawn to someone, and little kids are the best example. I mean, if my kids were here right now, you would never hear a word I was saying. You would always be pulled to them because they pull massive amounts of energy,
Okay.
not just when they're loud, but just their being. Like, they'll sit here on the Zoom and everyone stops talking and they're like, they start waving at my kids because they pull energy. Think of your favorite performer. They're pulling massive amounts of energy. So go out in the world and pay attention and just be aware and look and ask, okay, who is pulling energy? And it might be an animal or a baby or whatever. Not always a person on stage very loud, but it's it's something that we all have the ability to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that sometimes we choose not to do because we don't want anyone to see us. We don't want to be noticed. And that's totally fine too. I 100% have been there. So be aware that you can turn it on, you can turn it off. It's not hard. Everyone has the capacity, and it's just something, again, that as you practice, you get better at.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much, Lauren. It was very, very useful.
You're so welcome. My pleasure.
What would it take for the business owners to have more joy with business and can contribute to the universe via their business?
Yes.
So let's ask one question to the viewers. So what did you find as the most useful tips for you? So please do share it with us. And what else would you like to hear from us? If you have more questions, probably I can go back and ask Lauren and give it to you. So please do let us know. Thank you so much. So Lauren, amongst your busy schedule of managing Access Business and twins, thank you for taking this time. Very, very grateful.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Sansita from Bangalore. Please can you subscribe to Nila Mystic TV channel.